Hello there everybody, it's Knight, O-KEI Nightmare, and welcome back to Irae Amantes Amentes. Well, in the last episode we learned a little bit more about Rusalka's past, and now I kind of understand why she is the way she is. Doesn't excuse a lot of what's going on, but I understand her a little bit. A little bit more, at least. Also, I kind of now really understand exactly how her craving functions. And why well, let's just say, I think I learned just enough about Rusalka that I can't really find myself despising her. I can hate her, but I don't despise her, if that makes sense. A beat of the heart, a shiver of the soul. His consciousness, after a lifelong slumber, had been pulled back from the edge of unreality. Oh. He might have been having a dream. Upon further consideration, he realized he could never feel and fully comprehend reality. The very concept had felt befuddled to him from the day he was born. Is this supposed to be Isak? Because I'm seeing like skeletal parts and that makes me think of the castle, so am I actually going to be seeing Isak as he's attached to the castle? He could not understand it very well, and so he decided there was little meaning in trying. Any concept, simple or complex, was governed by and obeyed constant laws. If there were those that tripped, there had to be those that gave them the shove. Yet mulling over the loss that the fall itself might have incurred was beyond pointless. One should rather concentrate on standing up as soon as possible. And, of course, it would be ludicrous to carry on as if nothing had happened after such an action had been successfully performed. One would have to make sure no one could ever give them another shove. In short, the process required a sort of super compensation. One had to make sure those that shoved them regretted their choice, as otherwise the situation would never change for the better. And that was precisely why it came to pass that he awoke. One could call it a crisis prevention system, an automatic defense, a preliminary interception device. Well, the details of it mattered little. It was a part of the mechanism of most things to include structures that would invariably protect themselves. Human bodies possessed white blood cells, a legion of champions who would protect and pursue any external threat. And it wasn't the brain that commanded them. It was the jurisdiction of the heart to control the warriors that had been dissolved in the bloodstream. Indeed, the heart. Its rhythmic melody reverberated all across this space. The hell that gave home to millions trembled at the very notion of his awakening. It received permission from the brain, the Supreme Commander, although words should have mattered little between the two. Actually, that was Reinhardt's voice that I heard. The heart was an involuntary muscle. As such, it required no one's permission to function as it saw fit. It would race fast when ordered to stop, or come to a halt when required to beat faster. It all depended on the right conditions. Such was the nature of this cogwheel. Only the irrevocable laws governing it could dictate its actions. In short, what transpired then was merely the brain talking to itself. It would have been foolish to try and address a pair of oneself that possessed no ability to listen or obey one's commands. But was it really true in this case? Any concept, simple or complex, was governed by and obeyed constant laws. The heart might have been an involuntary muscle, but it could also never work against its host. If a cog had been designed to suit one's purpose, it could only do so as long as the two were bound by the same laws. As such, the excitement of the brain could take the form of a placebo and affect the heart. Thus, permission from the Lord only enhanced the workings of the intricate mechanism that sustained his power. Okay, so my theory was right. That was Isak. Then 'twas your fate to be consumed by this Viltal, to dwell amongst its walls for an eternity. Oh boy! And with that whirl of inexplicable sensations, Lisa Brenner opened her eyes. She raised her face to the familiar sight of her room. Apparently she drowsed asleep before she knew it. What was wrong with her? All of her body, from the top of her head to the tip of her toes, seemed to have grown incredibly heavy. She felt like she had some sort of a nightmare, but as her consciousness grew clear, her memories of the dream dispersed. No matter how hard she tried, she could not remember a thing. Lisa did not try to fight the overwhelming lethargy, leaving the upper half of her body prone on the table. And truth be told, it would have been a pain to try and do anything else. Lisa was not necessarily the indolent type, but at the same time, there were currently no matters urging her on, and so she had no reason to refuse slumber's sweet embrace. For a moment, she felt like a haggard mother that pulled an all-nighter worrying over a delinquent daughter. For Lisa, it was a new experience. A first during the dozen or so years she spent with the child. She remembered reading and singing lullabies to her when she was little, and how she became a loyal conversational partner when she grew older. The two lived as friends, as sisters even. Although, while no one else would be able to tell, Raya was actually quite prone to bursts of anger and sulking, something Lisa labored long and hard to learn how to soothe. And why wouldn't she? After all, the girl was the first child Lisa got the chance to raise all the way to relative adulthood. And with Raya about to leave the nest, Lisa felt oddly anxious, not knowing what to do with herself now that she was left alone. Neither could she remember what she would have done in the past. Therefore,
Du bist nicht nutzend zum Matai. Nein, nach ihm bin der Binnenschnei. O Tandebam, beat rising deine Blätter.
the song of the holy night poured forth from her lips quite naturally.
O Tandebam, du kannst mir sehr gefallen. Wir hat schon zur Weihnachtszeit. Nein, wohin die mich hoch freut. O Tannenbaum, du kannst mir sehr gefallen.
Lisa remembered singing the song both last year and the year before. She was not particularly confident in her singing voice, so she spent quite a bit of time practicing beforehand. I don't know, she did a pretty good job.
Ich wünsche dir viel Glück für dein neues Lebensjahr.
May you find happiness in the coming year. They celebrated her birthday with stock lines like that. Unfortunately, it did not seem like Lisa would be able to give her the same line this year. In the end, she instead uttered it to herself like an apology.
まったく。
Feeling stupid, Lisa finally straightened her back and leaned against the chair with a self-deprecating smile on her lips. Save for her, the room was completely devoid of people. Despite that, she nonetheless took care to look elegant as she carried out the action. Even she felt the whole display somewhat vain. Her hypocritical nature seemed to seep into even the most menial of her actions. At this point, she could very well make it to the Guinness World Records. After all, everything about her position was positively ludicrous.
すごいな、私。涙なんか出てる。
Lisa's shoulders trembled as she laughed, her voice resembling a wail. Her body felt heavy, almost like it was that time of the month, but it had been years since those stopped. What was going on? Seriously, what on earth was going on? She would never give birth to another child, nor did she wish to. It was neither a stomachache nor anemia. It must have been her imagination, but she felt something clutching her chest from inside. Impossible. You know, I'm starting to see a lot of sides from different characters, and the biggest difference that seemed to cause this is Kasumi being dead. Like, I got to see Trifa having, like, a moment of what I can imagine must have been some sort of weakness, considering his... I mean... I want to believe he actually does care about Himuro. But it's a contradictory position with what he's doing. But in that moment, it seemed like, oh fuck, I actually have to go through with this, don't I? It was that's the kind of feeling that I got from him here. And now, I mean, Lisa's had moments, but I don't know. It just feels weird seeing, like, sides to these characters that I spent so much time with at this point, and I don't know. I mean, hell, even Rusalka, but then again, I think that was just giving me more insight into her character and all that. Oh yeah, another thing that's different about this route. Freaking Bay did not get cockblocked. So there's another thing, but I don't know. This is interesting, to say the least. It felt almost like she had truly become a real mother. As if her child had been craving to see her. A ludicrous, impossible notion. She knew that. Lisa turned her head to face the ceiling and closed her eyes, laughing through tears. And in that moment, a knock on the door reverberated across the room, followed by a voice laden with worry.
Lisa, 私ですが、今、よろしいですか?
Did he hear her? Lisa jumped from the chair, wiping her tears off and straightening her posture.
ごめんなさい。ちょっと待って。
She had no idea what the priest wanted, but his intrusion plunged her back to reality with such abruptness she needed a few moments to collect herself. Taking a few deep breaths to calm herself, she evened her voice and finally gave permission for the man to enter.
どうぞ。
失礼。
The doorknob turned and the tall priest, his countenance as friendly and soothing as always, entered the room. Still, there had been something odd about his behavior today.
ああ、お構いなく。どうぞ気にせずかけてください。別にどうもなっていませんよ。
His eloquence remained unchanged, and his complexion was as pale as before, yet the moment he entered the room, Lisa noticed a peculiar smell lingering about him.
あなた、もしかして酔ってるの?
Oh!
ええ、まあそうですね。ほんの多少ではありますが。ともかく、こんな夜だ。よければご一緒にと思いましてね。
He placed a bottle of wine and 2 glasses on the table and sat down facing Lisa, whose stupor had yet to fully dissipate.
ご心配なく。別に新手の悪ふざけをしているわけではないですよ。対は何もありません。さあ。
Lisa stared at her glass as Trifa filled it with wine. How the hell is he able to get drunk? I thought these people had, like... I mean, unless he took a ludicrous amount of alcohol to the point where he finally managed to get drunk. In which case, how long has he been drinking by himself? Lisa stared at her glass as Trifa filled it with wine.
飲まないのですか?
え? ああ、そうね。じゃあ、いただこうかしら。
In all honesty, she had no idea what she should make of the situation, but it caused her no discomfort. If anything, her own melancholic mood, in part, made her welcome the drink.
どういう風の吹き回しか知らないけど、そうね。私も言われてみれば、飲みたいような気分だわ。 あなたと差し向かいでやるのは初めてだけど、まあそんな日もあるか。
Their glasses met with a cordial clang. The two decided against coming up with a toast. After all, it bare no meaning, and had the potential to remind them of something that would dispel the presently magical mood. The two took their time in emptying their glasses, leisurely drinking about half of their contents. One could call their style elegant, another label it a decrepit ritual of old geezers. The air of the room had been filled with both the sourness and sweetness of longevity. And with that, Trifa made light conversation.
あなたとこうして二人で飲むのは初めてでしたかね。
ええ、多分そう。記憶にないわね。いつもは。
Normally, Raya would be with them, but Lisa swallowed her words unfinished.
だってあなた、私と二人きりになるのを避けてたでしょ。それくらい分かってるんだから。
いや、確かにそれを否定はできませんが、私としてはあなたが望んでいないだろうと考えたからですよ。
嫌われてると思ってた？
ええ、違うのですか？
違うわね。大っ嫌い。
Lisa gave Trifa a coquettish look, which he answered with an understanding smile.
機会があれば捕まえて、7日7番でも絡んでやりたかったわよ。3日3晩くらいじゃ全然足りない。ほんと、あなたには昔からいろいろ言葉にできないくらいいじめられたような気がするし。
それは不徳の致すところですね。
でも、
In retrospect,
私のそばを離れなかったのは、考えてみればあなただけか。
old habits died hard, and the same was true for their messy relationship.
友達とそう呼べるような相手は残らず私を見切っていったわ。まあしょうがないことだけど。
Lisa liked people who were forthright in their convictions, be they objectively good or evil, and at the same time, she coveted and envied their strong spirit. For she herself was warped beyond help. She merely idolized what she did not and could not possess.
察するにザミエル教ですか？
ええ、彼女のああいうところ、私はそう嫌いじゃないのよ。だけど向こうにしたら腹立たしくてしょうがないのでしょうけどね。
The two were simply too different to share a common ground. Their honest feelings notwithstanding, they could not help slowly but positively getting under each other's skin. Hence, in the end, it was a lot easier for Lisa to see eye to eye with Valiria Trifa, for he had been the most warped of them all. Not to imply that she could genuinely understand him.
それで思い出したのだけど、最後に私と二人で飲んだのはベアトリスだったわね。
これはまた。
Must have imagined the scene, for Trifa's lips curled into a wry smile.
あの方もあれでなかなか厳格でしたからね。
融通が利かないのよ。そういうところ、誰かさんとそっくり。
It must have been the result of being a knight. The two seemed nothing alike at first glance, yet near comically similar regarding certain other issues. Indeed, Lisa had to admit she would not have been able to keep up with the two, her feelings of respect notwithstanding.
50年くらい前かしらね。バカじゃないですか、あなたは。腐った根性が映るんで近寄らないでくださいって。そんな風に言われたわよ。それからずっと口も聞いてくれなくて、ようやく話してくれたのは11年前。その時、お酒はなかったけれど。
一体何を話したのですか？
内緒よ。ただ、50年前の続きだったわね。私、 あれからずっと考えましたけど、やっぱりあなたのことを軽蔑しますって。なんなのあの子は。40年も間を置いていきなりそんな。こっちがびっくりしちゃうわよ。まるでその時言っておかないと後悔するみたいな。きっと分かっていたんでしょうね、自分の未来を。
うん。いつの間にか私への嫌味ですか。
ええ、言ったでしょ。3日3晩くらいじゃ足りないって。
キルヒ愛禅教は自業自得と思いますがね。しかし、
Triva took a sip with a murmur of mock indignation, and without a moment's hesitation pointed out a certain fact that had been lurking within Lisa's previous words.
それは正直初耳だ。つまるところキルヒ愛禅教はあなたしか知らない何かを知ったということでしょう。彼女の愚行はそこに原因があったとでも？
Lisa made no answer, and instead emptied the remainder of her glass, her eyes fixed on the priests. And after a short pause,
言ったでしょ、内緒よ。
not changing her expression in the slightest, she left her glass on the table, allowing Trifa to refill it.
いくら飲ませたって秘密は秘密よ。
Oh, you got my plan, damn it.
ええ、わかっていますよ。私も言ったでしょう。他意はない。
Despite his words, the priest's eyes betrayed no hint of a smile. Lisa ruffled her hair and let out a sigh.
なんだかゲシュタポに尋問されてるみたいだわ。
ああ、懐かしいですね。そういうこともありました。あなたと初めてお会いしたのはその時で。
ええ、それから皮肉くらいちゃんと理解してほしいわね。虚しくなってくるじゃない。
いやいや、無論わかっていますよ。私とこうして向かい合うのが視覚的にゲシュタポじみていると、それはすなわちあなたにとって。
ねえバレリアン。
Lisa interrupted Trifa, seemingly afraid to hear the rest. Instead, as if implying it was now her turn, she addressed him with a question of her own. Raya, Trifa's odd behavior, and her own abrupt emotional turmoil tonight. She could not help feeling there was a single reason that unified them all.
この前言っていたのはどういうこと？
はて、私は何か言いましたかね？
あなたの望む道が閉ざされたって。
Those were indeed his words from the night the third swastika opened. Still having no idea what that was supposed to mean, Lisa couldn't help but inquire further.
一応あなたの望みが何なのか私は分かっているつもりなのよ。それがダメになったということは、つまり連座で私たち全員も失敗するはずなのに。黄金連星はむしろ鉄壁になると言ったわね。それじゃ意味がわからないし、理屈が全然通らない。いいえ、というより分かりすぎて理解できない。
Rebellion. His failure meant Lisa and the others' success. In short,
正気なの。
it was impossible to put the notion into words. Even if viewed as the behavior of someone else, the very concept had been so incomprehensible to Lisa that her tongue refused to obey. A sane mind would never conceive such a notion. After all, it meant
あなたは私が正気などという贅沢なものを持っているとでも思ったのですか？
that she had misjudged the priest from the very beginning.
私は救いなど求めない。私は永遠に罪人だ。罪を帳消しにする魔法などいりませんよ。ただいつまでも血で血を洗い続けるだけだ。こういうのを俗にマッチポンプというのでしょうね。まあ、あなたに理解はできないでしょうが、そういう道もあるということ。
でもそれは諦めたんでしょ。
さて、実際どうですかね。ただ諦めるだの諦めないだの、そんな一言で片付けられるものではありません。私は単に、いや、これはいつの間にやら私が尋問されていますね。あなたもなかなか怖い人だ、リザ。
よく言うわよ。
Although there was a vague hint of rationale in his words, Lisa failed to fully comprehend the logic of Trifa's being. The priest's monologue merely filled her with a sense of ominous foreboding. The man had a penchant for self-destruction, but as fate had it, he tended to swallow others in his whirlwind of misery, and in the end, only he who stood in its center would escape unscathed.
私はエレオノーレやベアトリスみたいに放火の下を走ったわけじゃないけれど、なんだか背筋が寒いわね。あなたとこうして話していると嫌な予感しかしてこない。ねえバレリアン、私の望みは叶うと思う。
それはいずれわかりますよ。
And soon. Trifa emptied the remainder of his glass.
ただ、あまり買いかぶらないでいただきたい。私とて揺れることはあるし、わからないことも当然ある。常に事態を俯瞰して、もろもろ残らず手のひらの上、などと、副首領閣下でもある前に、そんなことはありませんよ。私はつまらない男です。ただ、逃げたくはないと思っていますが。
The red wine trembled like blood in the glass. The bottle had already been emptied. The moment the two finished their drinks would mark the end of their little banquet. And Lisa could not help but feel terrified by that fact. She felt like a prisoner on death row, awaiting her fateful hour.
故にあなたも逃げぬがよろしい。
Lisa could only stare at the red wine that now remained her of the Last Supper. Reminded her, fuck.
これが私の生産杯。
Trifa finished his drink and crushed the glass in his fist, letting the pieces fall and dance in the air. Then he slowly stood up.
強制はしません。ですが、常に同輩から見切られてきた女に母が務まるとは思えぬし、これ以上は人間性の浪費だ。私はテレジアを愛している。結局、それを不動のものとして確信したかっただけなのですよ。
待って。
Lisa called out to the priest as he began to leave, but was unable to find the correct words. She had no idea what she wanted to say or ask, or do. Still, she wished to continue to converse with the man, if only for a little while longer. She had been inexplicably terrified by the prospect of being left alone.
答えを期待しない問いを投げれば、聞きたくもない答えが返ってくると思いなさい。そうしたときは沈黙するものですよ。そして深く自問する。
Huh. When asking a question you expect no answer for, you will receive one you would rather not hear. Interesting.
あるいは、
He turned in the middle of his line and was about to leave Lisa when
私。
the door opened and Raya, the resident runaway, returned.
レア。
Was that mere coincidence, or a part of the priest's plan? Lisa could not tell, but there was one thing she understood with certainty. She could no longer run away. No matter how much she resisted, it was time for her to face her sins.
そう。懺悔も一つの選択ですよ。それに、なんだかんだと言いながら、カインを起こしているのも知っています。走ると決めているのなら、あとは方向性の問題だ。そこは彼女と話して決めなさい。
With that, the priest passed Raya and left the room. Yet before closing the door, he still uttered a final, nearly prayer-like sentence.
あなたに感謝を、テレジア。おかげで、ようやく目が覚めましたよ。
And the doors closed behind him. One person has left while another had entered. The number of people in the room did not change, yet the situation could not have been more different. And within it, after a momentary hesitation, Raya's uncertain voice dispelled the heavy silence.
ねえ、私、あなたに聞きたいことがあるんだけど、教えてくれないかな、リザ。
What should she do? How was she supposed to treat the girl? And in that moment, the true reason for her inexplicable sense of drowsiness finally dawned upon Lisa. In the end, the disappearance of the girl relieved her. Lisa relaxed and let the mask that had been covering her face for over a decade fall for the first time. She merely returned to her old self for a while. She had only been thrown off by the sudden change in herself. That was nothing surprising by itself. In short, the girl had been a burden to Lisa Brenner all along. Just like 60 years ago, she tried to look the other way, unable to face it. She was relieved by her disappearance, and she hoped the situation would sort itself out without her interference. They would never meet or talk again. There would be no need for her to come up with answers or suffer condemnation and misery. She thought that it would be nice if everything came to an end without her having to take part in anything. And despite it all, she put on an act of mock suffering and internal turmoil. Lisa could no longer contain tears from welling up in her eyes.
Lisa?
Raya gave the woman a puzzled look and considered the glass sitting lonely on the table. It had been the divine vessel of Lisa's crimes. Trifa told her to cease running, although he promised not to force her. What was she to do? Drink it? Or leave it like that? The wine in the glass, trembling crimson like festering blood, reflected Lisa's face, contorted in the conflict of bitter truth and sweet deception.
つまり、私の方針は簡単。
I split from Himuro as we left the club and joined Sakurai in our search for Wilhelm, but I had to admit, her sudden proposition shocked me.
ここで、私と戦えばいい。
Huh? We stood at the very top of the swastika in the amusement park. It was already past midnight, and the place was closed. So luckily, there were no other people around. What? Are you gonna... Wait, why do you want... Wait, you want us to fight, but... I'm having a hard time kind of just... Do you want me to... Wait, is your plan to kind of lure Wilhelm out or something? Still, I didn't get it. My sole objective was Wilhelm. I had to find and pry the truth out of him as soon as possible. I had no reason to mess around with Sakurai in a place like this. We'd eventually clash, no doubt, but there wasn't any time for that crap now. I first had to take care of Wilhelm, then rush to the church and to make sure Valeria Trifa wasn't going mental there too. Those two were my top priority, as getting them out of the picture would more or less liberate both Himuro and Kasumi. I wasn't planning on doing anything else until that got sorted out. I could, and should, ignore Sakurai, Rusalka, and Sister Brenner for the time being. Wilhelm and Father Trifa were probably far more dangerous than those three anyway.
お前が俺に協力めいた真似する理由も曖昧すぎてわからないな。ビルヘルムに用があるとか言ってたが、結局うまいこと言ってこの状況にするのが目的だったんじゃないのか。
まあ確かに、それも完全には否定できない。藤井君とは決着ついてないものね。白黒つけたい気持ちは実際あるわよ。
じゃあ、
いいから聞きなさいよ。
Sakurai motioned for me to shut up and leaned against the fence.
レイを舐めちゃダメよ。探し回って簡単に見つけられるような相手じゃないから。一種の猛獣だと思えばいい。鼻が利くのよ、あの男。だから見つけるのがうまいし、隠れるのもうまい。隠れ回るタイプでもないけどね。それでも探そうとしたら見つからない。 これは私の経験則。
So I'm assuming this fight that you want to do will possibly lure him out?
だったらおびき寄せるのが一番手っ取り早いでしょ。
I see. If he senses a fight, then... Well, I mean, if I'm involved, he'll probably want a piece of me, so... In order to lure out that war-addicted piece of shit, we needed him to catch the scent of blood in battle. A skilled hunter would hunt a wild beast by setting a trap, rather than blindly chasing after it.
私なりにこれでも気を使っているのよ。ここなら人目を気にせず済むし、誰も犠牲にならない。
Good. That's relatively good.
仮に探して見つかって、それが病院やタワーだったらどうする気？そんなところで始めるの？
Well, to be fair, Rusalka's at the hospital, so...
できないでしょう、あなたには。だから一番やりやすい場所に誘うのよ。それがここ。
Now, Ren, say thank you for her being considerate. I had to admit the possibility of people wandering the amusement park in the middle of the night was pretty low. Though in that sense, the school might have been an even safer place. Was she actually considerate of my feelings of not wanting to ruin that place? Or could it be that... Well, it didn't matter now.
つまりこれが最良だって。
そう。誰も後悔しないで済みそうな道。
ここで俺とお前が戦って。
鍵つけたベイが乱入してくればよし。
仮に来なくても。
私たちの決着はつけられる。
Basically, it's a win-win on Okay, it's basically a win-win situation, kind of. Well, that made sense, I guess.
俺としちゃ余計な消耗をしたくないんだけどな。
I didn't know if I could do anything about Wilhelm if my body wasn't in perfect condition. Sakurai herself advised me not to underestimate him, and I certainly wasn't planning to. After all, he was the first one to drill the terror of the obsidian table into my bones. I couldn't possibly underestimate that guy. Amen!
あいつが狙い通り来たとして、タイミング的に終わった後だったら最悪だ。
私に勝つこと前提で話してるのね。
負けること前提で物考えるやつがいるなら紹介してくれよ。それに来なかった時、
空振りした挙句に4番目が開く。私としてはそうなっても別にいいわよ。ここを自分のものにできるんだし。
俺に勝つこと前提かよ。
負けること前提で話す人はいないんでしょ。実際。
ああ、実際。
I know they've got, like, totally opposing, personalities, but they kind of bounce off each other quite well, I think. Sakurai was my enemy. It'd be foolish of me to assume she'd play according to my rules. She had a goal of her own, and was merely using me. I was no different. We had no reason to prioritize the other circumstances.
わかった。
Sakurai regarded me with a mocking smile. Realizing the situation had taken an odd turn, I exhaled a deep sigh. Guess I had no choice now. It didn't feel like it, but I had to fight her. However,
一つだけいいか。
if we couldn't see eye to eye anyway, I thought I might as well confirm one matter before diving headfirst into battle.
何？
Sakurai seemed oddly in high spirits tonight. It seemed almost like she enjoyed talking with me. Not to mention she urged me to fight with almost sugary words.
何が面白い？
I didn't know nor cared about what business Sakurai had with Wilhelm, but I couldn't help feeling like she was having a blast spending time with me. What the hell was that all about?
だって。
Sakurai lowered her gaze as a tremble ran through her shoulders. And as she raised her face, I could see a broad smile plastered on her lips.
すごく興味あるんだもん。
Oh! She suddenly lunged at me, barely making a sound.
あなたもこれで私と一緒になったね。
Sakurai formed her Hiho Irokane in the... Hihi Irokane, sorry. In the blink of an eye, striking me from above. With our weapons locked together, she stared into my eyes before parting her lips to speak. Her voice trembled as if bursting with excitement.
自分の彼氏が、自分の彼女が、自分の親が、兄弟が死んでしまったらどうしよ
Oh shit. I remembered her asking me something like this before.
う。事故でも病気でも殺人でも、何らかの不条理で大事な人を奪われたらどうしよ
What would a normal person do?
泣いたり悲しんだり絶望したり怒ったり悔しがったり恨んだり。
I remembered how I answered her before.
俺は生きてるやつのことしか考えない。ためと言って正にするのはお断り。
She was correct. That was indeed what I had told her. However,
また同じこと言ってよ。
Sakurai urged me to retract my words, taunting me as I remained silent, unable to open my mouth.
言ってみせてよ。ねえ、言えるなら聞かせてよ。口先だけの男じゃないって感心するから証明してよ。それがすごくとてもとても興味ある。
Oh yeah, now that people close to me are dead, I'm just... And I did wallow in a shit ton of guilt, so... Fuck. I remember that conversation. The dead could never be brought back to life, no matter what you tried to sacrifice. One couldn't pay the price for something that was invaluable to begin with. So even if there was a way to bring a treasure like that back, it would turn to ash the moment you made the exchange. That was my opinion on the matter, a belief that remained unchanged to this day.
いいから素直になりなさいよ。恥ずかしがることないじゃない。
So why couldn't I put my conviction into words this time?
今の藤井君、素敵よ。
That's a weird way of coming on to me, but okay.
迷って困って怖がって必死に目を背けてるその顔、かわいい。
Okay.
めちゃくちゃにしてやりたくなる。
Coming on a little too strong there, just gonna say that right now. I lacked the strength to push her blade away. The sudden urge of excitement in her blood seemed to have bolstered her power to such an extent that it completely overwhelmed me. Was that truly so? Was she the one who had suddenly grown stronger? Or were my doubts merely getting the better of me? I didn't know. I couldn't tell. I had no idea, but...
今のあなたなら仲良くできそう。
I vowed to destroy all these psychos and save Himuro in the process. So I couldn't possibly allow myself to fall in a place like this.
黙れよ、桜井。
A scorching heat enveloped my right arm, caused not only by the burning scarlet blade, but the fury of my very soul.
お前らは負け犬だ。
I didn't even want to know what they lost, were robbed of, or despaired over. But they capitulated at the game of life the moment they chose to sell their souls to the devil, merely to heal whatever wounds life had inflicted on them. They were all slaves to Reinhard, mindless skeletons blindly dancing to the tune of Memento Mori hummed by their master. As if trapped in a macabre dance of the dead, a miserable Totentanz.
俺はそんな奴らと同類になんかなるつもりはない。
でも綾瀬さん死んじゃったじゃない。
てめえはあいつの死体を見たってのかよ。
I would not believe it. I could not. I simply refused to accept the ludicrous notion that she'd be dead. Therefore,
生き返らせたいなら手を貸したっていいのよ。
I would not accept such a sickening alliance, even if the world turned upside down.
一人でやれ、バカ女。
じゃあ
The tone of her voice implied that the time for games was over.
死んじゃいなさいよ。
In that instant, her blade assailed me with even more vigor than before. I, of course, still refused to yield.
あとを追わせてあげるから。
てめえが死ねよ。
Our screams materialized as a fierce shockwave, blasting us away from each other. I used the chunks of flying debris as a scaffold to make a turn midair, meeting Sakurai's gaze, who had done exactly the same.
かわいそうな綾瀬さん。
Okay, now you're just being mean. Stop that. Her eyes burned with genuine compassion and fervor, declaring that she'd robbed me of my life to fulfill her own wish.
結局あなたも人命に価値の優劣をつけている。要はこういうことでしょう。綾瀬さんは大事だけど、氷室先輩を犠牲にしてまで取り戻したいほど好きじゃない。かわいそう。ああ、かわいそうね。同じ女として同情する。
Ouch.
だから詫びなさい、彼女に。全員私が一人残らずハイドリ秘境のところに送ってあげるわ。それが、いいえ、それこそが
Sakurai brandished her blade and began jumping through the debris, closing the distance between us at a blood-chilling pace.
あなたたちにとってきっと一番幸せな結末。
I dodged her blade by a hair's breadth and formed my own weapon. Marie, how did she feel about this situation? She called it her fault, regretting it with tears in her eyes. What did she think of me now? How did she interpret Kasumi's disappearance? Did she too consider my childhood friend dead? To her, did I seem like an undetermined fool trying to turn a blind eye to the truth? Someone who lacked the willpower to answer Sakurai's simple question? And Timuro. She said she didn't want for me to get hurt. Sorry, that I was already past the point of no return. We would keep bickering with no end, both of us dead set on protecting each other. I would turn a deaf ear to the pleas and do everything in my power to save her, and I didn't care what became of me as a result. Even if I ended up forever robbed of the sun's luster. I would send all the bastards who dared force their goddamn memento mori on my friend straight to hell. That was one thing I would see through to the end, regardless of the circumstances. I engraved the oath deep into my very soul.
私も
A synchronized feeling of guilt, fierce determination urging me ever onward. And now it began to imbue my blade with sharpness never before seen in this world. I could not, would not feel anything else. Blood, wrath, despair. The scent of battle filled the air. The ivory demon observed the clash of fighting spirit and killing intent as it exploded like blazing fireworks. Indeed, he calmly waited for his turn. After all, he had been fully aware of the curse that distorted his fate. Whatever he wished for the most had been destined to turn to sand and slip through his fingers the moment he dared to extend his hand. He looked motionless, halting even his breathing as he waited for the right moment. The stillness of his mind would have astounded even the most seasoned of veteran snipers. Any such man would have no doubt knelt before the ivory man, begging him to take them as an apprentice. However, there would be but one answer waiting for them. That was hardly his preferred approach to battle. In fact, the demon detested the very notion of lying in wait. Tearing through flesh, crushing bones, and bathing in the blood of his prey was the one true way Wilhelm knew. He cared for no other. He would paint the night in blood and make it his kingdom. He would have the moon illuminate the carnage he wrought upon the mortal realm, unveiling his hegemony. Wilhelm Ehrenberg was a vampire. Despite being a creature of the night, he harbored no love for tricks and deception. Taking lies from the shadows had never been his way. To him, death was a pleasure to be spread across the realm. Blood, a sweet vitae to be consumed in torrents. It all existed solely to entertain the night daemon who spread his terrible wings to lord over the crimson night, descending upon the world as a phoenix risen from midnight's ashes. Or is it pronounced demon? I don't know. I know a demon's spelled like multiple times, but is it daemon or demon? I know it's, like I said, I've heard it pronounced both ways, so. The time drew nigh for the world to be enveloped in a sea of blood. Countless thorns sprouted from the skin of the beast, one after another. They pulsed and concord with his veins, changing their length according to his will. They were irrefutably a part of his very flesh. No other soul in this world could wield or plant a vile thing like them into their own flesh. The beast had been the one and only rose of the demonic night. And it would drain and devour all life till the very world turned into a crimson desert, withering to dust. The rose launched into the sky with a maddened cackle ready for the hunt. The blood-sucking beast sought the fields of myriad battles to quench his lust for murder, to soothe his fervent love. For indeed he was the sole vampire the world had ever seen, a demon that reigned supreme in the dark of night. His fangs showed no mercy to none. All would crumble to dust before the beast's might. Showed mercy to none, sorry. Oh,
まあ、お帰りなさい。座ったら。
oh, we're back here. Raya, despite facing the very person she came to see after the 2 days of being away, felt completely silent.
どうしたの？そんなところに立ちっぱなしじゃ寒いでしょ？こっちに来たら。
An odd sense of guilt overcame Raya. She felt like a child who had accidentally witnessed their parents arguing.
バレリアのことなら放っておいていいから。
Lisa dismissed the priest with barely a word. It was one of the reasons Raya felt uncomfortable.
喧嘩したの？いいえ、そんな風に見えた？わからない。
Raya had no idea what the two were talking about, although she could tell it could not have been an uplifting conversation. After all, Lisa was...
泣いてたよね。
Remnants of moisture, tears, lingered on the woman's eyelashes. One would have to be particularly dim-witted to believe nothing had happened. Lisa nodded with an embarrassed smile.
そうね。泣いてたわ。家出娘が戻ってきたんだもの。当然でしょ。私は今まであまりうるさいことを言ってこなかったけど、それはあなたが特に問題を起こさなかったから。少し物足りなくもあったけど、さすがに遅すぎる反抗期にはびっくりしたわ。正直、どうしようかと思って。何が起きたのかと思って。いろいろ考えちゃったじゃない。ごめんなさい。
Raya knew that was a lie, but she still bowed her head. It might have been caused by the unexpected weariness she sensed in Lisa's voice. Or was it rather herself who was worn out?
ね、正直あまり時間がないの。用だけ済ませたら、私はまた出ていくから。そんなにここにはいたくない？そういうわけじゃないけど。
Rather than not liking it here, Raya was too preoccupied with another place she should have been at. Ren and Kei had gone looking for Wilhelm together, and no matter how Raya looked at the two, she could not imagine them getting along. She had no idea how the two planned to achieve their goal, but leaving them alone for too long would doubtless result in a fight. Raya was sure of it. Amen to that. And that was the reason why she manipulated the situation so that the two had no choice but to cooperate. Still, Ren's safety was far from guaranteed, and even Raya had trouble predicting how things would go from here. After all, she had already made a fatal misjudgment once before. Raya never had much confidence in her abilities to calculate these things, and anxiety had been her constant companion since she started the plan. She knew she could not allow herself to be hasty. Yet, time was of the essence. She had to make quick and efficient choices with a cool head. The girl understood full well that that was a tall order for her faculties, yet she was not in a position where wailing and complaining could get her anywhere, and there was no bigger waste of time than idle doubts.
もう今さら面倒なお芝居しなくていいから、本音で話そうよリザ。私、いつまでも子供じゃないよ。
Lisa Brenner was both the closest person to Rei Himuro and the one whose heart had been completely walled off from the girls.
今まで一番話した回数が多いのはリザ。一番付き合いが長いのもリザ。私のことを多分一番知っていて、私が一番知らないのはきっとリザ。
Fuji, Ayase, and Yusa were all simple people. Kei, Wilhelm, Rusalka, and even Father Trifa were still comprehensible in the sense that they were doing their own thing. What about Sister Lisa, though? Rhea spent close to 20 years living with the woman, yet she still felt like a relative stranger.
今みたいな日が来ること、これまで何も話さなかったよね。始まる前も、始まった後も、リザはリザのままだったよね。
Lisa was likely not trying to trick her, and Rhea did not feel as if she was being played a fool. The problem lay on a whole other paradigm. With Lisa's core nature, she merely lived and acted as she herself desired. Was acting her passion, or was she merely trying to escape reality? Rhea did not know the whole truth, but there was one thing she could proclaim without a shred of doubt.
リザは私に一番近くて、一番遠い人。
And so, Raya figured that Lisa would be the one capable of revealing the most to her. If only she managed to peek inside her mind, she might find a hint as to how to fight this dreadful situation. Raya placed her bet on the woman, half praying for success.
座ったら
Lisa offered her a seat once again, this time with an emotionless voice. Did she feel nothing, or was she trying to suppress her feelings?
何にせよ立ち話じゃ落ち着かないわ。だからまず座りなさい。すべてはそこから。座りなさい。
Lisa's voice wasn't necessarily stern, but it had a certain air of authority that Raya could not help but reluctantly obey. In any case, it did not seem like they would get anywhere until she took that seat.
で
Staring at the nun's attire, Raya formed her first question. There was one thing she had to know before starting the interrogation.
年いくつ
A question that addressed the most deep-rooted problem of them all, and would cause a chain reaction once answered. It would prove she was no normal human being and became a key to peeling her mask off.
見た目27、8歳くらいにしか見えないけれど
That's like initially what I thought.
知る限り10年くらいそのまんまだよね。答えて。
Lisa made a troubled face and, in the fashion of completely normal woman, hesitating to answer such an uncomfortable question, parted her lips.
1915年2月11日生まれ。だいたいあなたの5倍くらいの年齢よ。
And with an almost surprising abruptness, revealed her abnormality.
バレリアは私よりもう少し年上になる。まああなたから見ればどちらも大差ないでしょうけど。知りたいことはそれだけ？他には？ナチスだったの？ええ。レーベンスボルン機関って言ってね。ありていに言えば後方支援みたいなところの出身よ。
Oh! She's actually... Okay. This is interesting. I wonder how Ray's gonna handle all this.
国家の血を絶やさないように子供を産んで、そして育てて次の時代に送り出す。女なら誰でもやっていることでしょ。あなたの生まれはそこになるわ。そう。
She was over 90 years old. She belonged to the Nazis and was part of them even now. Lisa's confession confirmed those truths, yet this knowledge, rather than plummeting Raya into despair, actually relieved her. For the woman no longer tried playing games, and answered her question with honesty. It was still merely a glimpse, but it relieved the girl that Lisa finally decided to unveil her true nature, and the fact that her own birth was somewhat abnormal did not upset her at this point. Raya had already seen enough to configure that much out herself. Rather than despair, she would celebrate that this conversation was bearing fruit. And so she decided to take another step into the secret vault of her foster mother.
正直なところあなたの前でこういう話をする気はなかったんだけど、想定していなかったから。ダメね。要領を得ない受け答えになるかもしれない。
Well, the fact that you're finally being honest with her is a good step.
別にいいよ。
Raya herself was not particularly skilled at talking seamlessly. She said that the time was of the essence, but there would be little meaning in listening to an abridged version.
適当なことを言われて煙に巻かれたくないし、ちゃんと自分の言葉で話してくれるならそれでいいよ。口がうますぎる人はちょっと苦手。ああ、誰のことを言っているのかわかるわね。あの人はどこに？さあ、でもいたって邪魔くさいだけでしょ。彼がいたら私たちが喋る暇なんてなくなるわ。
I mean, yeah.
口達者だもんね。ええ、本当に。
The two imagined the face of the priest for a few moments, who was most likely sneezing right about now, and realized the ice between them had begun to melt, though Lisa's voice still had a certain hardness to it. And so it gave Raya an opening to ask another question.
リザは私が怖いの？
Oh boy.
あなたがというよりこの状況がね。言ったでしょ、想定外なの。 実際少し逃げ出したいわ。苦手なのよ、まっすぐに見られるのが。ねえ、私天井向いて喋っていい？
If it helps.
ダメ。
But yeah. Raya denied her escape, but understood how the woman felt, her heart likely tormented by pungent guilt. Yeah, I just realized I kind of just enabled her escapism. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
私に死んでほしいと思ってる人が情けないこと言わないで。どうせならもっとこう鬼ババアみたいな感じになってくれるとやりやすい。
And hear Burn Costal cackling in the distance.
それともそういうの作戦？違うわよ。
Lisa made a resigned smile. Apparently, she was genuinely troubled. Raya paused to think for a moment.
ちょっと好きに喋ってみてよ。私基本黙ってるから。いろいろ話してくれると助かるな。いろいろって？いろいろはいろいろだよ。いつ、どこで、何があって、どうして。今のリザになった経緯、動機とかもろもろ。あんまり好きな言葉じゃないけど、私には知る権利があるって思わない？まあね。じゃあ話して。
Lisa fixed her eyes on the ceiling, exhaling a sigh. It appeared she was considering where to begin her story.
まさか昔すぎて忘れちゃってるわけじゃないよね。それこそまさかよ。何年経っても忘れられないことはある。ただそうね、その前に一つ聞きたい。レアはそう私たちの目的っていうか黄金連星の意味を分かってるの？マレウスから聞いてる。あの覚醒器。
Yep. Yep.
でもそれとは別になんとなくだけど分かってたよ。特にこの1週間くらいで妙な気分になることがあるの。妙って？私が私じゃないような。
As if someone else had been using her eyes and ears. As if she had been looking at someone else's memories. A sensation of being two at the same time. Lisa seemed to freeze for a few seconds.
心当たりがあるんだね。
As the woman nodded, Raya proceeded to confess what she already knew.
黄金とは不滅のこと。つまり死なない生き物になること。そして死んだ人を生き返らせること。
That was the ultimate goal of those currently wreaking havoc across town.
リザは多分後者かな。桜井さんなんかも同じっぽい。とにかくあなたたちはそれが欲しくていろいろやってる。要は交換なんでしょ？返してほしい誰かがいるから代わりに捧げるものがいる。リザが誰をっていうのはひとまず置いて、とにかく天秤なんだよね。欲しいものがとても重たいから釣り合うように積み上げる。私はその生贄の一つで。
In short, the weight of Raya's life was light compared to the life Lisa wished for. The barter would not make sense otherwise.
等価交換っていうのよ。
Full Metal Alchemist. Although human lives should have been equal, their value would differ depending on who was weighing the scales.
わかるよ。私も藤井君が助かるならみんな死んじゃえばいいと思う。だから家でマレウスにそそのかされたわね。あれは立ち悪いわよ。リザも人のこと言えないじゃない。ごもっとも。
Even Raya's jest had just been devised to scoop out a detail or two about her foster parent she might have missed.
私リザが間違ってるとか言う気はないよ。気持ちわかるもの。頭から否定したりなんかできないもの。
If Raya was offered the chance to restart everything from scratch, she'd accept it. If she lost something dear to her, she would do everything in her power to reclaim it. The girl understood the feeling with almost painful clarity, for it was not a seldom guest to her own heart. Naive ideals had no place between the two.
だから教えて。どうして？
What did she lose? What was she trying to bring back? And to that earnest question,
初めはね、単につまらない意地だったのよ。
word after word, Lisa began to weave the tale of her past.
もう70年以上前になる。私が今のあなたと同じくらいの年頃で、まあ要するに学生みたいなものだった時、なんだか無視できない友達がいてね。友達？そう。とは言っても、あなたにとっての藤井くんとか綾瀬さんとか、そういう関係じゃなかったわよ。あれはもっとこう、なんていうのかな。犬猿、腐れん？いや違うな。喧嘩した記憶しかないんだけど、お互いにいなくなると張りがなくなるみたいな。強敵と書いて友？あ、それ面白い表現ね。そんな感じに近いかもしれない。
Lisa narrowed her eyes, reminiscing about the past. That expression made her look surprisingly young. This was most likely how she looked like during her golden years.
とにかく、その友達とは喧嘩ばかりでね。何かにつけて争ったと思う。それこそ、どっちが早起きできるかなんてことまで。しまいには彼女、丸5日くらい不眠不休になっちゃって、それでも日々の課題は完璧にこなしてて、どうだ、貴様とは鍛え方が違うのだ、とかね。さすがにこれは頭がおかしい人だと呆れたわよ。
I kind of have a feeling that you're probably talking about Eleanor here. I mean, realistically, she is the kind of person that would be the type that they're on completely different levels. And she does seem like the kind that would carry out all her duties for 5 days straight, so...
私はそんな彼女が苦手だったけど、真から嫌いなわけでもなくて。多分、負けたくなかったんだろうな。単純なライバル心ともちょっと違って、ただ競い合いを続けたかったというか。くだらないことで、いつまでも争う日々が悪くなかった。うん。それを続けていたいと思ったのよ。だから私は、彼女と常に並ばないといけない。引き離されたら競えないから。走って走って、お互い子供じゃなくなって。気づけば、遊びじゃ済まされないところに足を踏み入れてしまっていた。それが、ええ、ナチスよ。
Germany, as well as the state of the world in that age. Raya only knew of it from textbooks, but she could nonetheless imagine it. If two students had been competing to the point where their rivalry bordered on the extraordinary, society would not turn a blind eye. And so the stage for their rivalry changed, elevated to never-before-seen heights, brought ever closer to the core. They had to keep marching onwards, beyond the point of no return, shouldering a colossal responsibility that could no longer be cast aside.
実際戦争も始まったしね。言い訳をするつもりはないんだけど、自分にできることをやらないわけにはいかないでしょ。立場があり、責任がある。国が勝とうが負けようが、自分に迷惑がかからなければどうでもいいよって。そういう考え、当時もあるにはあったけど、だいぶ理解の範疇を超えていたわね。少なくとも、私の知ってる常識的にはありえないこと。そのあたり、この国の現代っ子なら、少しは分かったりするのかな？
Probably not.
うんうん。
At the very least, it felt alien to Raya herself. Some thought that just because one happened to have been born to a particular country and forced to live within its society, it did not automatically entail unconditional servitude to that nation. But that was merely the misguided, shallow mindset of those who knew nothing of history. The culture and traditions passed down within one's country constituted the very framework of its people's thinking. Rob a country of all that, and the result was a dead nation.
説得力ないかもしれないけど、リザが国を守ろうって思った気持ち、わかるよ。友達もそうだったの？ええ。彼女は軍人になったわね。すごい速度で力をつけていった。もはや国民的にもちょっとした有名人よ。確かに入るからね。戦乙女っていうのは。そしてそうなれば、その後に続こうって子たちも当然出る。女の子の軍隊。今では珍しくないようだけどね。それでも基本前線に出るようなことはあまりないでしょ。だから当時としては本当に稀有。ちゃんと育てるシステムも怪しいし、周囲の理解なんかないに等しい。ジェンダーフリーもいいけれど、適材適所の意味を履き違えちゃダメよ。そういう意味で、例の友達はまさに能力的な適材適所を体現していたわけだけど、他の子たちはどうなると思う？
Raya paused to think for a few moments. Her first impression was that it must have been tough for them.
なんだかすごく邪魔者扱いされそうだね。それで済めばいいけどね。
Partaking in a battle meant putting your life on the line. Someone unfit for its hurdles would very likely wind up dead.
女が戦場に出て銃弾を食らい殺される。それが愛国？冗談じゃない。私たちには私たちにしかできないことがあるでしょ。なぜそれをしない？戦う場所を間違えるな。とね、若い私は思ったわけよ。
Understanding dawned in Raya's mind. In the end, the only thing left to Lisa was to elevate her rivalry with that friend of hers to its utmost limits.
彼女はいい。あれは確かにその役にしか立たないような人だもの。常識外れの才能とそれを錆びつかせない好奇心の相乗作用で他の生き方を潰してしまったのは惜しいけれど。
Much like Lisa, she rushed onwards without paying any attention to her surroundings, and eventually found herself beyond the point of no return.
だから彼女のことは否定しない。だけど他の子が後に続くのはダメ。
Yeah, they just crash and burn. Quite literally. And metaphorically.
あれほどの才能にあれほどの努力。兼ね備えた子がそうそう出るわけないでしょ。勘違いをさせちゃいけないし、それをおせっかいと言えるほど優雅な状況でもない。まるで政治家の票集めだね。そうね。その通りだったかもしれない。
Which one of them would garner more supporters? Lisa ended up being unable to back down from that fight. Not to mention it was her love for her country that drove her forward.
私は彼女に勝たなければいけなかったの。
A smile that was far too faint to be called self-scornful crept onto Lisa's lips. It was childish stubbornness that started it all. And by this point, Raya finally understood that
その友達っていうのは。ええ、いるわよ。今でもね。
Lisa's compatriot remained in the obsidian table to this day. That couldn't have been Kay, and Rusalka was out of the question. Then
エレオノーレ・フォン・ビッテンブルグ。ハイドリヒ教の近衛よ。いずれあなたも彼女と対面することになるかもしれない。あれは確か1939年の今頃だったかな。その日私たちはハイドリヒ教に出会った。
And one hell of a meeting it was, wasn't it? And with that, their competition escalated to an even more destructive level.
エレオノーレは桁違いに強くなっていく。
And so Lisa had to chase after her. For the sake of the fatherland, she could not allow herself to fail. Both transcended the limits of mortal women.
私がいたレーベンスボルンは言ったと思うけど、次世代の子供たちを育むのが目的。 ええ、たくさん育てたわよ。百発百中の神経衰弱ができることか、ボールを坂の下から上に転がせられることかをね。そしてみんな、私の育て方が悪くて死んじゃった。
Raya had heard of psychic children herself. Just like there were squadrons of child soldiers in the army, so would others field benefit. So would other fields benefit from children being reared specifically for them. The sooner they could get familiar with their future craft, the better. The idea was to remove certain shackles limiting one's brain. To do this, they would fill the children's minds with information during an impressionable age, when their convictions and common sense had yet to develop. If he taught a child that it was possible to raise a cup without hands, they would believe it, and carry out the feat without a shred of doubt or hesitation. But that meant opening brain channels that regular people never used, and more often than not led the children's minds to overheat. The same way one could tear their muscles when infused with too much adrenaline. One could also fry their brains in a vegetable or even dead. Choosing to serve her country as a woman, she reared its children. Yet that only resulted in making Lisa Brenner the most wicked woman of them all in the eyes of the world. Woman of them all in the eyes of the world. No others murdered as many children as she did.
それがあなたの後悔？ええ、それが私の罪。
Her one and only wish was to save the children that her actions cast into the flames, a desire she craved enough to even sacrifice Raya's life to see it fulfilled.
そっか、わかった。そうなんだ。
And so, of course, she noticed yet another contradiction.
私はリザの孫かひ孫なんだね。
Silence could only mean confirmation. Raya went on.
数は聞きたくないけれど、何人もリザは殺した。
She murdered countless children.
それを償おうっていうのに、私を殺しちゃったら矛盾だよ。だから少なくともリザにとっては、そのことが贖罪にならないといけない。
Lisa wished to be freed from the sin of having massacred the children of other mothers, and to do that she had to sacrifice her own blood. In short, to put her own lineage to death, and to suffer the agony of a just punishment. But if that was true, it would make her such a diligent yet clumsy woman. The most unfortunate case of wasted effort in the world.
大変だったんだね。うん。リザのこと、よくわかったよ。
The faintest and most ephemeral of smiles had been plastered on Ray's lips in that moment.
嫌なこと話させてごめんなさい。だからもう、そんなに自分を責めないで。おばあちゃん。
Lisa could no longer bear the girl's gaze.
やめてよ!
Her voice burst out with the intensity of a shriek. She jumped up from her chair, almost collapsing on the ground, and covered her face to escape Raya's eyes, yet failed to hide the tears gushing out through the spaces between her fingers.
意地悪い子ね。そんな心にもないこと。
It would have made more sense if she called her a witch or a helpless fool. Lisa would have been able to bear any scornful or contemptuous remarks. But what on earth was this?
つまらないお芝居はもうやめようって言ったじゃない。なのにあなた、それ卑怯よ。何が？死ぬ気なんかないくせに。
Why did the girl regard her, a fool who sold her soul to the devil, with the compassionate eyes of a saint?
本当、誰に似たのかしら。私も結構面の皮は厚いつもりだったけど、あなたはちょっと女優すぎるわ。狙い通り、すごいダメージ受けちゃったじゃない。そんなつもりはないし、言ったことは本音だよ。ねえリサ、私よくわかんないんだけど。
Raya cocked her head to the side in a genuine expression of puzzlement, then gave the nun a long and hard look.
私が死んであげないってことと、 あなたを嫌いになれないってこと。どうして両立させちゃいけないの？頭固いんだから。
That was why she made stupid mistakes. Her outlook was too narrow, her mind too stubborn. Raya would never want to think in only ones and zeros.
仮にもそんなの着てるなら、もっと前向きになればいいのにね。
Otherwise, how could she properly listen to the worries of other people?
あなたが能天気なだけなのよ。
Lisa replied with a tired voice.
だって勘違いしてるもの。私はもっとドロドロした女よ。自分でそんなこと言う人信じられないよ。あなたに兄弟か姉妹がいると言っても。
The sudden revelation rendered Raya speechless for a split second.
え？
Siblings? What was that supposed to mean?
私の子供の話よ。双子でね。イザークとヨハン。ヨハン。
Right. She had to ask about that name.
あなたはイザークの孫よ。レア。わかるかしら。つまり私は同じ自分の息子を天秤にかけたのよ。いる方といらない方、役に立つ方と立たない方、そして愛せない方と愛せる方。前者はイザーク、後者はヨハン。だからね、食材がどうとか大外れよ。あなたを捧げる痛みを罰にするとか、実は全然思ってない。力があるのはイザークだった。父親に似ていたのもイザークだった。適性があるのは彼の方で、だから私は愛せない。これなら捧げても構わないって冷めた思考で選んだのよ。切り捨てても痛くない方の子供をね。そしてそれがあなたの血筋。これでもまだ私を嫌いになれないとか言える？
Johann was alive. That was the reason Rusalka changed her attitude the moment she heard the priest's words. The sacrificial bloodline lived on, even without Raya's involvement.
じゃあリザは？ええ、ヨハンだけ逃がしたわ。死んだということにして、その後は一切会ってないし、行方も知らない。でもきっとどこかでその血筋は生きてるでしょうね。こんなひどい話に巻き込まれないまま安全に平穏に、あなたみたいな目に遭わないように。
So despise me, curse me with every disgusting word you know. Raya could not help but see Lisa urging her on like that. For if the girl didn't, the woman would find herself unable to cast her off.
そう、よかった。リザもちゃんとお母さんだったんだね。
Receiving an unexpected answer, Lisa found herself at a loss for words. To Raya, however, it was far from unexpected. Her lousy attempt to play the villain was so cheesy it failed before ever reaching the girl. Rather, the more wicked she tried to appear, the more she looked like a wailing child.
やめようよ、もう。すごくそういうの似合ってない。あなたは本当におかしな子ね。
Lisa leaned against the wall, seemingly worn out, and shuddered a few times, not from tears, but from finding the situation almost comical at this point.
そんなお人よしな性格でもないでしょうに。うん。でも、いいこと聞いて、少し希望が見えてきたから。
Lisa gave her a "in what way" look, to which Raya pressed her palms against her breasts and said the following in the most serious of tones.
そのうち、おっぱい大きくなるかもしれない。
Oh my god.
リザが私のひいおばあちゃんっていうことは、ここに無限のポテンシャルが詰まってる可能性があると思うの。
God damn it, Raya!
ねえ、実際まだ成長期だよね。リザがそんなけしからん感じに育ったのは何歳くらいの時？ね
It took about 10 seconds for Lisa to come out of her stupor.
え、聞かない方がいいと思うわ。
And with that, she could no longer contain her laughter. It seemed as if she hadn't laughed so earnestly in decades. Raya glared at Lisa with sulking eyes, but the woman did not mind. At this point, all she could muster was holding her stomach so it would not burst.
そうか。なるほどね。レアにとってはそれが一番問題なんだ。まあ、B カップじゃ物足りないような態度を前に取られたから。藤井君がそんなことを？あなたの被害妄想でしょ？
Once she finally collected herself after all that laughing, Lisa brushed the tears out of her eyes, then evened her breathing. This wasn't particularly the reaction Raya aimed for, but she was glad to have been able to lighten the mood at least. Although the answer she received disappointed her greatly.
ねえ、レア。それであなたは結局どうしたいの？
Lisa gave the girl one of her genuine smiles as the latter was busy staring at the ground with a "the world has just ended" sort of look. There was, of course, only one answer to her question.
言ったでしょ。藤井君を助けたいだけ。
She merely wished for him to survive and not get hurt if possible.
でも私、喧嘩とかできないし、やれることって言ったら一つだけで。私たちを争わせて自滅を狙うか。それでマレウスね。いい目の付けどころよ。あれはそういうのが好きだから。他人の足を引っ張って喜ぶ。競争相手を罠にかけて引きずり下ろすのは実際彼女の18番。あなたのシナリオだと私は誰に殺される予定なの？そこまで考えてないよ。っていうか、今までの話の流れでどうしてそういうことになるのよ。
Raya could not bring herself to hate Lisa, but neither did she wish to sacrifice herself. As such, there was but one option available to her.
味方になってよ。私たちに手を貸してほしい。つまり私に諦めろって。そういうんじゃない。
Raya was in no mood to discuss morals at this point, nor was she willing to beg. She merely wanted to treasure the memories she possessed.
今まで結構楽しかったよ。
Lisa was her friend, sister, and mother. The two were always together, and Raya thought they would remain so forever. Therefore, she couldn't simply acknowledge such an abrupt end to their relationship.
なんだかいろいろひどいことになってるけどさ。今が来るまでのこれまでがなくなったわけじゃないじゃない。全部茶番だったとしても。茶番だったらいけないの？
A lie, an act, a calculation. Was that truly enough to threaten everything they had in the past?
言ったでしょ。楽しかったって。
That alone was true and would never change. Her motivations notwithstanding, Lisa Brenner had most certainly brightened Raya's life up until this point, and no matter what happened, the girl's opinions on that would not change. She had fun and never felt lonely. That was the unshakable truth of the matter.
リザはどうだったの？
Did she wish for the girl to die, annoyed with the whole act?
答えて。
Lisa remained silent, although for some inexplicable reason her eyes had been fixed on the wine glass atop the table. The lonely silence persisted for a dozen or so seconds. Then suddenly,
結局最後は泣き落としか。あなたはあまり作詞に向いてるタイプじゃないわね。正直だって言ってよ。ええ、本当に。
although she still hadn't answered the girl's question.
レア、交渉の基本はね、相手を本意させる条件を出すことなの。私が望みを捨てる代わりに、あなたは何かくれるというの？私の子供を一番最初に抱かせてあげる。名前も決めてよ。そして 今度こそちゃんと愛して。
Aw.
それはまた。
Wasn't she getting a bit ahead of herself?
相手は藤井君。その予定だけど。なんで彼のことがそんなにいいの？なんでって言われても。
To tell the truth, she did not know. It was true that she thought his face cute and that his behavior triggered motherly instincts in her, but she could not pinpoint what exactly made her fall for him.
私はね、少しそれが気になるし、怖い。怖い？
What was that supposed to mean? Lisa, however, did not return Raya's confused look and instead kept staring at the wine glass. And suddenly,
私ね、死体を操れるのよ。
Lisa began speaking about something completely unrelated.
ここで実演する気はないけれど、まあとにかくそういうことができると思って。いつも死人のことばかり考えてたから、一種の業みたいなものなんでしょうね。
She loved the dead and wished to overturn death. All the comrades she lost in the whirlwind of war, her broken fatherland, as well as all the children she herself led to death.
翻せば、死にゆく者しか愛せない。死体を抱きしめることに安らぎを覚え、救われる。エンバーマー、お前はそういうものだろうと指摘した男が昔いた。
Her voice wavered, a hint of self-scorn and anger mixed in it.
否定できない自分のことが許せなかったわね。かなり嫌な男だったけど、彼の言うことはいつも恐ろしいほど的確だった。ねえレア、そんな私みたいな女が普通に恋をして結婚して子供なんか産めると思う？イザークとヨハンの父親は血の通った人間だったと思う？
Raya said nothing. Her original question had been dodged, yet she could not find it in herself to interrupt Lisa. Her sixth sense told her that it was incredibly important, something pertained to the very core of things.
私は死人しか愛せない。
She could only embrace the dead.
ならばそう。近々極上の死体が生まれる。そう言われてね。実行したのが1942年6月の出来事。これは当の本人も知らない。
There was something very odd about Lisa's story. She said she could only love and hold the dead. As such, the father of Isak and Johann could not have been among the living, yet she spoke of him as if he was still alive.
イザークは普通の5倍くらい成長が早かった。お腹の中にいる時もね、2ヶ月ちょっとで生まれたわよ。
Good lord!
黄金連星に関わる古式、中核のグリューンを作れず焦っていた私にカール・クラフトが道を示してからちょうどきっかり1年後、成果は出たわ。そして同時に後悔した。
For during that time, she had a chance to glance back at the path she had taken. She gave birth just like everyone wished, to the monster everyone hoped for.
私が望んでいたのはこれか。
She spat the line as if vomiting blood.
こんな父親とそっくりなものが。
A physical embodiment of her sins, her pact with the devil.
それであとは話した通り、私はイザークを切り捨てたけど。ねえ、わかるでしょ？見えてきたでしょ？私が何を恐れているのか。じゃあ、
Raya suddenly covered her mouth with her hands.
彼とカール・クラフトは異様なほど惹かれ合っていた。そしてあなたは藤井君に惹かれている。
Oh. That was what scared her. She could not suppress her trepidation, unable to shake the suspicion that the attraction of the two had been related to that fact.
それでも言える。
Could she still proudly claim to love Ren Fuji?
自分の気持ちは自分のものだと強くあなたは断言できる？
Could she still show them, the losers of life, the dazzling spark of her unbending will?
その血に負けず死を思わずにいられるの？関係ない。
Raya hit the table with her fist and jumped to her feet.
私の気持ちは私のものだよ。茶番の何が悪いって言ったじゃない。リザがどういう気持ちで接していても、なんで藤井君が好きなのかわからなくても、私が感じてる本当のことはここにあるもん。リザと違って薄いから、いつでもしっかりわかってる。またその話なの。B には B の良さがあるって藤井君に教え込むから気にしないことにした。
After all, she was certain that physical matters could never become a significant hurdle in their relationship.
私の血筋がどうだとか、それは確かにショックだけど、そんなの結局おっぱい大きいとか小さいとかと変わらない問題だよ。
Oh my god.
むしろ私ロミオとジュリエットみたいで燃えてきたね。
You probably shouldn't go the Romeo and Juliet route, good lord. There was a hint of denial in her tone. After all, no one could remain completely calm after learning a truth like that about themselves. In fact, her emotions had been all riled up. She was at the threshold of a complete identity crisis.
藤井君にも選ぶ権利はあるんじゃない？うるさいな。私がお婿さんにするって決めたんだからそれでいいの。
Ray hit the table again. Lisa caught the wine glass as it was about to fall off.
ねえ、だからいい加減に答えてよ。リザは私といてどうだったの？
The answer did not come, but Lisa gave Raya a straight, hard look. She was no longer trying to run. It would have been easy to look away. It would have been easy to break the girl, seeing how she'd just been thrust onto unstable ground. She might have been putting on a tough act, but she was still a child. While Lisa was hardly among the strongest people around, she had seen enough hell for the girl to appear as vulnerable as a naive baby. After all, destroying children was Lisa Brenner's bread and butter. However,
そうね。
Lisa's lips curled into an embarrassed, yet barely noticeable smile.
これでなかなか。
And then, with a broad grin on her face, she finished the wine and tossed the glass to the ground, shattering it to pieces.
カイン。
The next moment, a scream reverberated across the room. In its wake, the entire church roared and trembled as if hit by a sudden earthquake. The floor and walls cracked open and the ceiling collapsed with an explosion, filling the room with a rain of debris and dust.
安心なさい。別に不吉なものじゃないわ。
Oh! In contrast to Raya's bewilderment, Lisa exuded an air of self-confidence, almost as if she was an empress, and the unfolding chaos merely existed to serve her. She gave the empty space a sharp look and an apparent declaration of war.
仮にもこんなものを着ているなら。そうね。本当にその通り。私の子供たちが安らかに眠れるよう、原因を取り除かなければいけない。
The arms wrapped around Raya's shoulders are both incredibly strong and soothingly soft. The girl made out a valiant, yet warm face through the mantle of dust. The face of a mother. The magnanimity and benevolence it contained drove Raya to the verge of tears. Ah, so that was what people called relief.
大丈夫よ、レア。私たちが守ってあげる。
The meaning of her words and the fact she used plural.
そうでしょ、バレリア。私も今、目が覚めたわ。
Happiness and relief filled Raya's heart to the brim. She felt like an entire army had just come to her aid.
そうですね。もはやこうなっては後に引けぬ。
Oh! Trifa, too, uttered his words while looking deep into the sky. It seemed as if his gaze had pierced the dark canopy above, glaring at whatever horrors had been lurking beyond its veil.
待っていなさい。我が愛し子たちよ。必ずそこから救いましょう。
A fissure ran across the priest's cheeks as his blue pair of eyes fell shut, never to be opened again. The divine vessel, the tangible proof of his oath to be him, began to waver. His very craving had been on the verge of collapse, but at the same time, the phenomena came as a divine blessing.
あなたも付き合いなさい、マレウス。結果論ですが、この状況を作ったのはあなただ。
This is fucking amazing. Rusalka's meddling led Trifa to discover a path that would allow him to, at long last, be reborn as a true swan. Rusalka just finished swallowing the hospital in her shadow when an ominous feeling suddenly made her toss her head up and glare at the sky. It felt as if something inconceivable had been trying to break through that dark canopy. It wasn't a change that merely opening the fourth swastika could have brought about. She knew the feeling. She knew it better than anybody else. The very same hell that vanished into the nether after it swallowed Berlin. The Weltall, giving home to millions of Einarjar, was about to descend upon the world. Palpable killing intent and jubilation filled the air. The world itself sung the hegemony of destruction. It had been planned to swallow everyone from the very start. Such was the complete truth behind the transmutation of gold. How could she not realize something so obvious? And so he wished to bestow upon them a field of battle where they could massacre each other, eternally for all time to come. To make them all join hands in a dance of death as perfect equals. Rusalka glared at the ominous void with murderous contempt. She was the only one with the right to do that. She would never be drowned in filth again, even if it killed her. Oh, this is fucking awesome! The things crawling upon the earth would never deserve their gaze. Instead, they would soar the high heavens, blanketing the earth below with their shadow. A flock of terrible god birds, Gulankambi, with their golden wings abreast. No stars in the sky could understand the feelings of one trapped upon the ground. They beguiled her with their sparkling colors. They made her fall in love with their luster. They made her spend countless years chasing after them in vain. A Sisyphean effort for someone who possessed no wings. Therefore, she would catch up to them all one day. For them to claim she could never reach anything or anyone, Rusalka wanted to hear none of it. The man of golden locks could hear the increasing beating of his heart. He felt blood course fiercely through his veins. A battle cry born from the core of his soul shook the realm with fervor enough to make it tremble to its very foundations. The gold continued to laugh. Love and elation filled his heart to the brim at the sight of his servant's struggle. Indeed, despite it all, nothing had run counter to his desires. Any concept, simple or complex, was governed by and obeyed constant laws. If they refused to open the doors from the other side, he would merely force them open from the inside. Or... the thought of a woman who could only love the dead. The bedrock of the dead snarled at the sentiment of its kindred. Ludicrous. Foolish. Embrace him? She? Indeed. Acknowledge. Remember me. Memento mori. This Weltall shall swallow all there was to the world. The battalion of 3 required 5 swastikas in order to manifest themselves. As such, another one had to be felled.
誰が良いか、イザック。
無論本人の美観に反するものを
And only one fit that criteria at present. Sakurai froze in the middle of the battle. It was as if a colossal invisible hand had suddenly seized her, or rather, I actually saw it with my very eyes. Felt it on my skin. Oh! I witnessed a hand formed of countless skeletons rip through the fabric of space and catch Sakurai in its hard fingers. All I could do was shiver at such a gaudy display of mind-boggling power. No one in this world could break through that grip, those shackles. It didn't matter how trained Sakurai was, how fierce a will she possessed, or how many souls she had. That thing transcended the concept of mere numbers. It was a cog that could only melt and swallow things into itself. Reinhardt's engine, the heart of his world.
動機は洗脳それによる憎悪眩しきものを認めようとせずその打点に悦を覚え
Oh.
笑う極めて卑小な魂無論同種のものも存在するがかの者は己が知性であると自覚しており天性の脱衣を自ら行う気概ありそれこそ渇望とする潔さは称賛に値しよう故に城へ招くと決定するしかしてこの者前述の通り非小なり層が足らずたてがみ足らず細胞の一つとして溶けるが相応と思うがいかに
A mechanical voice that reverberated in our skulls like the blow of a hammer. I had no idea what it was talking about, nor whom it was addressing. But I understood what it was trying to do. He would kill Sakurai in a few moments.
私はあなたに忠誠を誓いましたあなたのもとであなたを信じてその報いがこれなのですかアイドル教
いいなこれこそが祝福お前が求めるものらすべて黄金のうちに溶けているすべてを飲み込むグラズヘームこそが救いと知れ私はすべてを愛している故にすべてを飲み込み溶かすその事実私を決定する黄金律の前においてすべてのものに何ら一切の差異はない溶けよ落ちて散れよイエスイレの先兵たる英雄たちの見栄となれ
That was all the thing had to say.
依存はあるか悪望
ねえな
A torrent of stakes fell upon us from the heavens above.
一番いらねえやつが最初に切られる常識じゃねえかあるわけねえだろ依存なんてよ
Can I just take a moment to say that you look really fucking badass right here? Even though I'm getting ready, even though Sakurai's probably about to bite the, I'm just saying she's probably gonna bite the button. Okay, go! Wilhelm. He did not hesitate for a second.
いや懐かしいなイザークご機嫌じゃねえか見違えたぜ
その評価は的外れと答える私に機嫌などというものはないただあるがまま断りに従い 黄金の意志を執行するのみである。
変わんねえな、そういうとこはよ。
I had no idea of what just happened, nor was about to start. Probably a battle of the gods at this point. But I soon realized that I was gaping like an idiot at none other than Wilhelm, the very person I'd been looking for tonight. Calmed myself and straightened my back. Letting my guard down here would mean certain death.
うるせえ。
I had no time to be distracted by the screams and death throes of Sakurai, who had by now turned into a pincushion for Wilhelm's stakes.
教えて。あなたはベアトリスを
ああ、
殺したの？
It seemed like Wilhelm killed someone dear to her as well. Or did he? How would he answer? Unfortunately, the truth of the matter
知るかボケ。てめえで勝手に考えろ。
vanished into darkness alongside Sakurai's face, as another stake pierced through and completely decimated it. Fuck! Her body began shriveling up and dissembling into dust. Shouldn't have cared. It had nothing to do with me. After all, I hated the bitch.
ごめんなさい。私こんなに無様で弱くて情けなくて結局何もできなかったよ。
Now was not the time to. God damn it! Why couldn't I look away?
許して兄さん。ベアトリス。
I continued staring at her up until the very last speck of her soul dispersed into nothingness. Wilhelm Ehrenberg.
第五解放を確認。勲功を称えよう白鵬。
As for that other son of a bitch, Isak, was it?
だが先の言、私の中で齟齬が生じた。必要に伴い修正せねばならぬので問いを投げたい。バルキュリアを落としたのはお前なのか？
ちげえ。やり合いはしたけどな。てめえも知ってるだろ。俺がどういうもんかよ。
なるほど。理解した。
The two seemed to have forgotten everything else in the world besides themselves. They didn't even glance at the dying Sakurai. I couldn't help but feel revolted by the callousness of those two fuckers.
であればこの状況、私がお前の邪魔をしたことになってしまうのか。
ああ、まあそうだが気にすんな。
His pair of crimson eyes shifted to me, bloodlust and elation flaming in their pupils, and it was likely I returned his look with the exact same eyes.
このガキやるのはまた後だ。まずは根っこを修正しねえとよ。毎度毎度同じ展開じゃさすがにやってらんねえんだよ。ほら、いいから始めてくれや、イザーク。
了解した。情報感謝しよう。黄金もお前を評価するに違いない。賓客として礼を尽くす。こちらの蹴りがつくまでひとまず休め。
いいぜ。うまい酒飲ませろ。
待てよ。
Wait, you pieces of shit. The hell were they even talking about? I had no idea what they were planning to start, but
逃げられるとでも思ってんのかよ。
brandishing my right arm, I vaulted towards the bastard. Willem, on the other hand, merely jumped atop the skeletal hand with a laugh, vanishing beyond the veil of clouds. Suddenly, a fissure ran across the area of the night sky where he disappeared, and something peered out from within it.
セクナ、クラフトの大体。お前も招けば、我らが黄金は言っている。では、地獄巡りを始めよう。 ラディビーナコメディ
Something colossal in size had been trying to emerge, bending the very walls of reality out of shape.
その男を墓にすれあらゆるものもあらゆる鎖もあらゆる全てをもってしてもつなぎ止めることができない
No mortal man under the sun, no powers that be, no chains that bind, shall constrain Hirful. He dwells in the nether, a soul from the grave is he. In that moment, a lifeless sound, the hollow voice of a child reached Lisa and Raya from the other side of the fissure.
彼は爆さをちぎり枷を壊し狂い泣き叫ぶ墓の主この世のありとあらゆるものすべて彼を抑える力を持たない
His shackles crumble, his chains fall limp unto the ground before his will. He, the dweller in the grave, his cries of mingling agony and madness. No man, no divine breath that coursed the veins of this universe hold the power to subdue him. Trifa could hear the voices well, naturally. He was fully aware that their actions had brought about the most dangerous of outcomes, that they awakened the bastard of the Devil's Castle.
神は問われた貴様は何者か
And so the Lord asked, "What manner of beast are you?" Rusalka was no exception. All of them had been thrust into a situation from which there was no escape. At this point, stealing their hearts was the sole option available to them.
愚問なり無知のお前知らぬならば答えよ
Your lips breathe folly. Your question a sage intellect would never hatch. If you knew not what I am, very well, I shall answer.
う我が名はレギオン
Know my name, for it is Legion. Rapture took hold of Wilhelm's heart. It was finally time for him to ascend to the exalted heavens he had long dreamed of. He could no longer contain the cackle bubbling forth from his lips.
ブリア
His name was Isak, ein Sonnenkind. Grandfather to Irae Himuro and son to Lisa Brenner, he was fathered by the Lord of the Dead himself. He had been the heart of the Devil's Castle. Now he began his sacred task, which was... Wait.
グラズヘイム
Apotheosis. Swallowing the whole of the cosmos and having their flesh and blood melt into himself, turning all living beings in the world into servile Einarjar.
グランカムビフュンストベルトール
The fifth universe of gold. Indeed, this was the very embodiment of... The castle has appeared! And so the world shall end.
私の愛だ。よく噛み締めろ。
An offering to the monarch of destruction. May their dazzling souls satiate his boundless hunger. May their macabre dance of death amuse him.
否も王も聞かぬ。ここは私の世界で、私が王だ。
I just had a thought here. So we've got three parties now. Ren, Rusalka, and Raya with Trifa and Lisa. That's three parties. There's three immortal Einarjar, and that's also including Wilhelm. Here's my prediction. Rusalka versus Albedo. Lisa versus Rubedo. And Ren versus Nigrido. And whoever comes out on top will face Wilhelm. And then finally, Reinhard. That or they'll face Wilhelm first, and then the remainder will take the rest of them.
生産杯、マレンス、バビロン、トバルカイン。ケーラ、望むものがあるのなら、屍を踏み越え、進むがいい。私のもとにたどり着ければ、どのような還元であれ、聞き入れると約束しよう。
He would release Raya Himuro. He would return any soul trapped in Gladsheim. He would grant any wish. But the price was braving hell itself.
そう。私に死ねというものでも構わんぞ。
Were such a blasphemy possible in this universe?
悪いは道かもしれんだろう。なあ、カールよ。
The impregnable gold welcomed the guest to his realm with a satisfied smile. In Shambhala 9 out of 13, Swastikas 5 of 8. Chapter 9. Non omnia possumus omne. End. That was fucking glorious. That is the only word that I could possibly describe. This was worth setting aside time to go through the rest of the entire chapter. That was entirely worth it. I don't know if I can possibly summarize how much that was so goddamn awesome. Except for, I think the bad part was Sakurai dying, but damn. I know I said how much I really like the Maria route, but this is shaping up to be pretty darn cool too. So thank you all very much for watching. I'm gonna go calm myself down real quick, and I will definitely see you. Oh my god, the wait is gonna be absolutely painful. See you guys next week. Thank you all so much for watching. Hello there everybody, Sabato92 here, and if you like this video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And hey, if you guys like my content, then maybe you'd like to check out another channel who I think deserves equal attention. So click that nightmare emblem and check out that channel, or go to the links in the description down below. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.